Hello everyone. Today we will see what can we do with a toolbar. A toolbar is basically a generalization of action bar, and it helps us to take control of the topmost bar that is available here. If you remember, then we have already done an app using the toolbar or action bar, but here we will see how can we customize it further. If you look at the top bar where there are three dots, if I click on one of these dots, settings comes over, right? So I'm talking about this bar which is there, which has this photograph of the basically a cartoon or icon of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Uh, this app basically what it does is it helps you to get your votes for memes or trolls that you have made for anyone. So let's say I like this troll for Hillary, then I can click on the right thumbs up which is there, and that will give one vote to Hillary. If I Then I click on next, and the next one comes. I again like it for Hillary. I'll click it again. The topmost toolbar which you can see, it has become, the score has become 0 and 2. I again click on next, and here I can see that let's say I like this for Trump, then I'll click the thumbs up for Trump and 1 2. Again I click for Trump, and there are again 2 and 2, right? So this you can also use as a idea for the upcoming elections which are there in USA, and you can make your own cool apps to share it with your friends and get their views on with what presidential candidate would they like to see in the future, right? So now let us go to our Android Studio and see how to make all this happen. So as you can see, this is what we were seeing on the mobile screen. And now let's go to text and see what all have I done here. We go to our topmost layout, and that's linear layout. The orientation is vertical and gravity is center. The first thing which you see here is an image view, which is basically this view that I have put. All right. So all the images, they get replaced here. And there are two image buttons here, both for thumbs up, right? This one is for one candidate, and this was for another one. This is text view, which keeps changing as we click on previous or next. These are two buttons to move to next or previous meme or troll. And this is for share. If I click on this button, then I will be able to share it further with my friends, the results of the sort of poll that I conducted for all the memes or trolls, right? So here is this. Let me just show this to you. This is the image view. I had a linear layout, orientation was vertical. I put an image view there, and then I introduced another linear layout which had an orientation of horizontal. In that I had two image buttons, both were thumbs up buttons. After that there was a text view which was for showing the serial number of the meme. Then there was another linear layout which was having an orientation of horizontal. There were two buttons, one for previous and one for next. And then finally the button at the end which was for share. All right. So this was the design. Now let us see how can we code this. And we also have to make sure that we also have to do something about the toolbar, because if you remember, there was this image here and two text views here which kept on changing whenever we clicked on the thumbs up buttons. So we also need to look at this, how to make this happen. To make this happen, what we will have to do is we will be using a basic activity. So whatever I showed you up till now was part of the content main, and now what I've done is I've introduced something in activity underscore main which lets me customize this toolbar, right? So what I will do now is I will go to activity underscore main, and I'll show you what all have I done so that you could see this thing changed here, right? Activity underscore main. If you see, this is all by default that you get. But here in this widget, which is for toolbar, I have made certain changes. Actually, this widget can be regarded as another layout wherein I can make changes and make it look the way I want it to look. All right. So what I've done is, in a typical toolbar, whenever you make basic activity, typically what you get is there's only this description of the widget, and it ends here with a closing tag like this. All right, but here what I did was I unclosed it, I opened it again, and I introduced a layout here which was a linear layout. The by default it's horizontal because I've not mentioned any gravity here, and I put my contents here: text view, image view, and another text view. All right, so what is basically happening is, if I now go and click on design, I am basically taking care of, when I take care of a toolbar here, when I make changes in the toolbar here, I open it from here, I put a layout here, and then at the end I again close it. If you see, I have closed it again here, right? What I'm doing is I'm making changes in this toolbar, right? So here it's a text view, image view, text view. Let us check if that is the case. Yes, that is the case. It's a linear layout, horizontal, vertical, horizontal orientation, and then you have a text view, image view, and text view. All right. Of course, I've given a source also for this drawable for the image view, right? So now we have been able to make changes on our toolbar also, right? So similarly, this is now up to you. How do you want to use this? A toolbar can also be changed dynamically the way we will do it now, as you will see in this example. As you click on the previous or next button, these numbers keep changing, right? So I think you already have an idea what we are going to do next, but we will still stay together and complete this, because until unless things get completed, they're not getting it's not yet over, right? So let's complete it and see how to exactly do this, because you can use this as your project idea also. Let's say you have to submit an assignment and you have to work on an Android project. You can pick this up as an image view, use this as an image view, and then replace this with any other idea. Put actors or actresses photographs here, and then see if you can get votes for them from your friends, right? So let us go to our main activity and see what all needs to be done there. In my main activity, I already received all this. All right, so I just need to now make amendments in this. First of what I will do is, I know that I'm going to make use of a lot of on-click listeners in this, so we will make this implement the interface view dot on click listener. All right, and now it tells me that I need to implement the methods on click, and I will do that. Implement methods, click. Yes, so now it is available to me. Let me see if there is anything else which I need to do. Yeah, before I move forward, I also need to introduce some array here which will contain the location, exact location of all the drawings that I'm going to use, images that I'm going to use. So I will start typing public. As if you remember, we had already discussed this, that the IDs are all integers. So I made an integer array, and now I start putting in the exact locations of these images. If you see here, I'm basically jotting down all these images here, whatever or what all I require. After this, I will start declaring the buttons that I'm going to use. First, we will declare the image buttons. Two image buttons for thumbs up that we require. And then we need the buttons also. After this, text views. This is the serial number text view that will keep changing as we move to previous or next. An image view also we require. I will introduce two variables here: position and three of them: These will be the scorekeepers and positions that I need to know where the user is. And then we will get into the onCreate method. Here is a floating action button. We don't require this, so we can delete it so as to create no confusion. And this is the toolbar that will actually do our job if we wanted to do any other further work, although we don't need to really fiddle with this, because we will be able to now handle everything, because we know the addresses of the exact text views that need to be changed in the toolbar. So now I will go and start defining the buttons that I just declared. So to save us some time, I paused it for a minute and then did everything. So we have two image buttons here, button 1, button 2 here, and then image view, text to 3 text views. And then I also put set on click listeners on these buttons, because that's what we are supposed to do. And now we can now move on to our actual coding, which will make everything work. I will go to my onClick method and start making changes there. So like in most of the cases, we will make use of switch case also here. We will find out which which button has been clicked. In any case, button is also a view only technically. So we figure out which view has been clicked, and then we use the cases here. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out if the button 1 has been clicked, which is basically the previous button, and if it is not equal to 0, then I will uh, decrease it by 1 so that previous button can work. So if you, let's say the user is already at the 0 position, the user is already at the first member of the array, then we don't want the user to go back to a negative number, because there is nothing there to be shown, right? So we will first check if it is not equal to 0, then we will decimate it by 1. Otherwise it does not do anything. This if will work only if it is not equal to 0. And also another thing which we need to do here is we will also set the image resources here. Image view, set image resource. Now because we have decreased the value of position by 1, we can also now use that new position to show the new image. And we can also now set text for text view serial by set text. Fine. And then break. Sorry. First case is done. Now let's look at the second case. If the user clicked on button 2, then I will check if position is not equal to 4, because in that case I don't want the next button to work. We don't have any array members to take care of that position, so we will first check if it is not equal to 4. If it is not equal to 4, that means it is less than 4 only. Then we can increment it by 1, and also change the respective image. After this, the third should come in. Now this third one is going to be for my image buttons, which are thumbs up, because the user can also be clicking on those buttons to vote, right? So in case the user has clicked on in that image button, then I will, in case the image, the user clicked it for Trump, then I will increment Trump by 1 here. And also the text view one, this is the text view one which is there on the toolbar, right? So we will put the new text there and make it the value of Trump. All right, same thing I will do for Hillary also. Yeah, so buttons are taken care